Right in front of me. I thought he killed the guy. And some of the crowd was saying they had these triangular weights. We're going to weight them down, tie their hands and feet, take them as far into the surface as we can and drop them. I was thinking at the time, I said, well, I never thought I'd go out this way.
My misfortune was to have my home shot up. If my wife had not gotten up to go to the bathroom, once the dog started barking she would have been killed because the Klan knew enough about my house that they shot up the bedroom.
In the 1960s, hundreds of men, women, and children were beaten and terrorized because they desired a better future. In St. Augustine, the violence reached epidemic proportions when the KKK sought to make an example in the oldest city.
And I really think St. Augustine might become sort of the sleeping giant of the civil rights history because so much happened here and it's just now getting attention.
Dr. Welch has been involved in bringing that history to the forefront. In 50 years, there have been a handful of monuments and plaques erected to honor the sacrifices made in St. Augustine, most of them within the past 2 years. But even though a veil is being lifted on the past, inequality and racism still haunt this town.
There are people who are still actively, if latently, racist. Like they don't think it was wrong what had happened here. So they feel that the civil rights will misrepresent the city, not simply as a racist city, but misrepresent the politics of the time.
America's going through a whole lot of problems.
For Barbara B. Allen, the struggle didn't end with the signing of the Civil Rights Bill. Allen marched with Dr. King and has never stopped fighting injustice. Now Allen struggles every day to make people see what's hidden in plain sight.
Well, to me, it's still segregated. It's not quite as segregated as it was in 1964 and prior to that. A lot of the segregation is based on people not actually using the facilities. They don't know if it's segregated against them or not. I finally learned that all of us got problems and whatnot. It doesn't necessarily have to be a big thing or out of proportion. But you have to learn how to talk to each other. You have to learn how to live together.
St. Augustine may finally be facing its past, but a short trip across the tracks is enough to show you that the problems that the monuments chronicle have yet to be solved.
It does not necessarily close the economic gap between whites and blacks, the educational gap, the healthcare gap between blacks and whites. That's something that needs to be addressed in this city. Monuments are great, super glad that Andrew Young's getting one, and the foot soldiers have one, very important stuff. But we still have unbelievable inequality in this city, in this state, and honestly in this country.